guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will discuss about the arc welding electrode details. What is arc welding? What is the type of the arc welding? So many types are there of the electrode. So we'll discuss today. So check and understand the full videos. So the contents of the video, what is this? First is history. We need to know the arc welding coated electrode. What is the history? This is very interesting. So I will explain one by one. First, we'll check the history of the arc welding coated electrode. Second is the what is an electrode? What is an electrode? So we should know that what is an electrode. Third is the size of the electrode. What size we are using basically in at site or fabrication industry or any industry. Types of electrodes. Which types? What are the types of electrodes are there? Coating of electrode. There is a bare metal. After that, there is a coating. So we need to know the coating. What is the use of coating? Types of electrode coating. So different types of electrode coating is there. So we need to discuss storage and drying of electrode. So how you have to store and dry the electrode to prevent the any welding defect. And the testing of electrode. How you have to test the electrode that the chemical composition it is really compatible with the base metal or not. How we have to check the testing of electrode. So these are the things we need to check one by one. Now history of arc welding coated electrode. What is the history? You see here mentioned during first stage of work with metal arc welding, a bare electrode was in use, which was producing brittleness in the welded area, and the weld was considerably weak. Means at the beginning of the welding, there is only bare electrode. Means only the metal. There is no coating was there. So in that sense, if you see the brittleness of the weld area, it is happened there, and the considerably joint will be very weak. Overheating effect on weld metal was noticed as there was no arc stability. If there is not any coating is there in the bare metal electrode, then there should be no arc stability. And if there is no arc stability, then your heat of the metal of the very high. So this is the beginning of the electrode when it is history. To overcome these difficulties, researchers developed a number of electrodes in 1907 that were covered with organic or mineral materials, which is known as a coating or plaques. So 1907, what happened? In 1907, they think that we need the arc stability. So how it will be happen? Then we need to do the coating or plaques in the bare metal, bare electrodes. So now we can see the electrode is covering with coating, covering with plaques, filler with plaques. So you can see now. This is the history. So you understand now this history. Now what is an electrode? What is the use and how you have to define this electrode? The electrode may be defined as it is metal of which is sole purpose to carry the current and sustain the electric arc between its tip and base metal, as well as in some cases it melts and supplies filler metal addition in the proposed joint. So electrode is a metal, it's nothing, it's a metal, and there is a flux or coating. Where is there? Coating is there. What do? They carry the current, and after that there is a arc stability or arc there is a creation of the arc between the tip and the base metal. So in that case, what he tell here, what here it melts and supplies filler metal addition the proposed joint. So sometimes you need to addition the filler metal. Which type of welding it is happened? TIG welding. If you see tungsten inert gas welding, there is a consumable, there is a non-consumable electrode is there, and where is the electric arc is created, in that area you see the filler metal need to addition to melted the joint and to add the metal in the joint. So electrode can be divided into two groups depending upon the function which are given below. One is the consumable, one is the non-consumable. So electrode we have two types. What is this? One is consumable, another is the non-consumable. Now we'll go the consumable and non-consumable. What is how we have to define. The consumable electrodes refers to conduct current from electrode holder to metal and supply filler metal to the joint like in SMW. So consumable electrode is very interesting. It refers to conduct current from electrode. So from electrode there is a current is generating to metal and supply filler metal to the joint like in SMW. Now the second one, non-consumable electrode are only used to work, means non-consumable electrode that is not using in the base metal. It is only used for work as a conductor carrying the current from electrode. In consumable, direct it is carrying from the electrode holder, but it is here is the only that consumable, non-consumable electrode as a conductor carrying the current from electrode holder to base metal like GMW. So this is consumable, another is a non-consumable electrode. Now size of electrode, how we have to define the size of electrode. You see, the size of electrode refers to the diameter of its core wire. The size is available in metric as well as in English system like 180 inch, 332 inch and 2 mm or 4 mm etc. So you have to vary, you can see here the nomenclature. You see here, this is D, small d and this is the caps D. So this end you see here the arrow marks, this is called the striking end, and this red marks is the core, this is called the core, and this is the bare end. So this is the covering of the flux or covering. So this is the bare electrode, this is the flux and covering for the electrode, this is the electrode covering of with flux or flux, and this is the core, this is called the core, and this D is one is the inside the core diameter and the D is the outside, this is caps D is the outside diameter. So D is the covering dia and small d is the core dia. So this is the nomenclature of the electrode, how it looks like and how we have to define. Now we'll go the types of electrode. What are the types of electrode are here? Arc welding electrodes are classified in groups by American Welding Society, AWS A5.1. So this arc welding electrode, they are grouping as per AWS A5.1, it is grouped by American Welding Society based upon their type of coating, mechanical properties and performance characteristics. So why they have different types of electrode? Because there is a coating are different, maybe mechanical properties are different, maybe performance characteristics are different, as well as the old metal chemistry is different. So in the different types of requirement, different electrode are there. For our discussion we can categorize the electrode as under: one is the based upon materials electrode, another is the based upon coatings. The based upon materials we need to check the electrode, and the based upon coating we need to check the electrode. Based upon material, you see, based upon materials. So how many types of electrode are there? You can check here. Mild steel electrode, that is AWSA 5.1. Low alloy steel electrode, this is the based upon materials, AWSA 5.5. Stainless steel electrodes, that is AWSA 5.4. Electrodes for cast iron, that is AWSA 5.15. Copper and copper alloy electrode, that is AWSA 5.6. Nickel and nickel alloy electrode, that is AWSA 5.11. Aluminium and aluminium alloy electrode, that is AWSA 5.3. Only first three of the above will be discussed. These three is most important. That's why the discussed one will be the mild steel electrode, low alloy steel electrode, and the stainless steel electrode. Other one will discuss in the later. So this is the based upon the materials we have categorized the electrodes. You see here the mild steel electrode, and it is the requirement of AWS 5.1. You can check AWS 5.1, all the requirements are there for the mild steel electrode. Mild steel electrode and identification system. There is an identification system how to check the electrode, designate the particular what is E, what is 70 like this. So we'll discuss like this way now. The identification has explained as under like E. First one E. E means what is designates for electrode, and the next one will be the next page. So first we know E. What is E? E means designates for electrode. Now you see here E 4-digit. First two numbers refer to tensile strength of the deposited old metal. So you have to know after E there is a 2-digit is there, that 2 digits for the tensile strength of the deposited old metal. For example, E6010. 60 means 60,000 psi tensile strength of the deposited old metal. So 60,000 psi. Now we'll go after 60 there is a one digit. You see the mark is there color. Third number is denoting. This is the third number is denoting the position in which the electrode can be used. Which position welder will do the welding. So you see example 1 for all position. If it is mentioned 1, it will be for all position, flat, vertical, overhead and horizontal. If it is mentioned 2 for flat and edge fillet position. If it is mentioned 3 has no designation. If it is mentioned 4 for F, overhead, horizontal and vertical down, but mostly suitable for vertical down only. So 3 there is no designation. You have to remember that one. Now you see here the last one. What is the last one? Last number refers to chemical composition present in the electrode coating. For example, what are the chemical composition are there in the electrode? So we should know. So last digit is 0. If it is mentioned 0 means cellulose sodium. If it is 1, cellulose potassium. If it is 2, rutile sodium. If it is 3, rutile potassium. If it is 4, rutile iron powder. If it is 5, 6 and 8, then low hydrogen. So this we need to know this one. What are the electrode designation? What are the definition are there for the each designation? What are the mean? So I think you people understand this. Now we'll go this. You see E after that 4-digit. The last two numbers together indicate the type of welding current the electrode can be used. So last two digit also you have to know the which current it is using. Now you see here, for example, if you go E10, that is last two digit is 10, that is DC positive. If it is last 11, you see AC or DC positive. If it is 20, AC or DC positive. You see AC or DC. If it is 12, AC or DC negative. If it is 24, AC, DC positive and negative. So this you understand, this means last two digit which current you have to use for this welding, for this particular electrode, which current you can use, you have to use at the time of welding. So you have to know. Now low alloy steel electrode. What is low alloy steel electrode? These electrodes are designated for the welding for low alloy steel. So this low hydrogen, low alloy steel electrode, where it is used? It is used for the structures, piping, pressure vessel. They give well deposited or steel containing a small amount of alloying element. Why it's mentioned the alloy means small alloy elements it contains when you are doing welding on the deposited old metal. These electrodes are specified in AWS A5.5. So AWS 1.1 is the mild steel electrode and AWS A5.5 is the specification and identification is the same as for the mild steel electrode. So this is for the low alloy steel electrode is AWS A5.5 and the 5.1 for the mild steel electrode. Now stainless steel electrode. Stainless steel electrode, what are the composition are there? Stainless steel electrode are used for the welding for corrosion resistance. Where it's required the corrosion, if you think this area or this drawing, this some of the areas it is mentioned on the drawing that or the client requirement, this is the corrosion resisting area. So we have to use this type of stainless steel electrode to prevent the corrosion. Where we can find this one in AWS a 5.4 specification for corrosion resistance chromium and chromium nickel steel covered electrodes. So AWS a 5.4, you can see the specification for the particular stainless steel electrode. Some stainless steel electrode have given with their mechanical properties in the following table. You can see now following table in SS electrode what are the mechanical property for the particular electrodes. If you see the AWS classification E209, what is the tensile strength? Is 100 KSI. Elongation in 2-inch minimum percentage is 15. Heat treatment is not. So this is the mechanical properties as per AWS 5.4. What are the tensile strength and what are the elongation required for the particular classification. Now based upon based upon material is finished now. We discussed already three types of, one is the mild steel, one is the stainless steel, another is the low alloy steel. Now is the based upon coating we have to check the electrode. One is cellulose type, second is the rutile type, third is the oxidizing type, and the basic type. These four we'll discuss. What is cellulosic type? The cellulosic is an organic material which contains 30% in the electrode coating by weight. So if you do the weight of the electrode, then 30% of this content of the electrode is the organic material that is called the cellulose type electrode. It decomposes in the arc and produces a gas shield which protects arc from the atmosphere oxygen and nitrogen. Like E last digit is 10 is the example for this type of electrode coating. Generally this coated electrode is suitable for all position with DC positive. So cellulosic type electrode you can use on all position with DC positive. So this is the organic material, 30% is the electrode coating by weight, and it decomposes what is created when you are doing the welding. There will be the arc will be created and produce a gas shield, and it itself produce a gas shield which protects the arc from any atmospheric oxygens and nitrogen. So this is cellulosic type. Second is the rutile type. What is rutile type? Rutile is a naturally occurring sand usually contain around 95% of titanium dioxide. So in rutile type electrode there is a 95% titanium oxide is there. This type of electrode is good for use AC or DC. You can use this electrode AC or DC, positive or negative. Generally use a vertical and overhead position as the slag is very viscous and quickly freeze. Why we are using this one for vertical and overhead position? Because if we do in other position then it is very viscous and quickly freeze. If it is quickly freeze the slag, then it is very difficult to remove. That's why it is used for generally used for the vertical and the overhead position. The it cannot be freeze quickly the slag. If it is quickly freeze the slag, it will automatically remove. Like E12 and E13, the last two digit are the example of this type of electrode. So if you go E6012 and E6013, you can say the rutile type electrode. Now oxidizing type, it contains mainly iron oxide and silicon with or without manganese oxide. So what is there in oxidizing type? This is iron oxide is there and silicates are there, but there is no manganese oxide. It produces a heavy slag which has the oxidizing properties. This type of electrode is limited in use because the resultant old metal is soft and the low mechanical properties. So we are not using normally this oxidizing type electrode because of the this old metal is very soft and the mechanical properties is very low. like 27 E7027 electrodes are having this type of coating, generally using a flat position. So we are using this type of electrode only mainly for flat position. So you understand now oxidizing type. Now the very important is the basic type what you are using in the industry. This type of coating contains the calcium carbonate CaCO3. You have to understand. You have to remember this type of coating what is there in the calcium carbonate is there, calcium fluoride is there, metal powder is there, and comparatively more powerful deoxidizer. Means deoxy very powerful for the deoxidation. This calcium carbonate and calcium fluoride it's remove the oxygen from the area. This result in a chemically basic slag which is fairly fluid, the solidified slag which is heavy and friable has brown the dark brown color and glassy appearance. This appearance is also very good. This result in a chemistry basic slag. Moisture is removed from the coating to render it low hydrogen electrode. Why? It is moisture is automatically will be removed when you are doing the welding because it's a low hydrogen electrode. This electrode having this type of coating is preferred to use for minimize the risks of hydrogen induced. This that's why it is hydrogen. It is the electrode having this type of coating. This type of coating is preferred to use the minimize. So why we are using this type of coating to minimize the hydrogen induced cracking or cold cracking in the base metal. So this type like 60701516 and 118 you can see you can say this type of electrode the basic type of electrode. This is the example of coating. So you understand now basic type, oxidizing type, rutile type, and cellulosic type. These are the depends upon the based upon coating we divided the four types of electrode. Now I think this one for today's topic will be continue for the another 2 or 3 subject. So it will be continue within 1 or 2 days. So don't forget to watch the continuation also so you can understand the all these things. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any comment, if you have any query, just you can send a message to in YouTube message box, then I can give you the reply to you. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget, I am telling again, share and subscribe my channel to get the regular video, and you can see so many questions and answer I am uploading the for the Aramco especially and for QAQC engineer also. You can get it from here. Thanks a lot. Take care.